So it's my first day out of quarantine after having COVID, and I'm walking in the rain. It was gloriously sunny about 20 minutes ago, and now it's pouring rain, and I love it. It's so fun to walk in the rain. It's so fun to be outside, and it's gorgeous here. Hoping I can get up a little ways and see the mountains. Right now it's all corn. And there's no one on this little road right now, so I took off my mask. I wanted to go live and talk about being afraid, because I have been recently, and I'm going to tell you about it. So I decided to try doing a podcast and a YouTube channel thing for the very first time. And I put that video up here, and I did a first episode, and it was about as good as you would expect the very first episode to be of someone who's trying to do it for the very first time. And then, I went to do another one, and I had this plan for what I was going to say and how, what I was going to talk about for like the next 5. And then some things happened, and oh my goodness, I have to get over this. Just a sec. And before we all got sick, I had some things going on that were hard and stuff, but when I came back to sit down and write the next thing, I just got really fearful in a way that I don't know if I have for a while. And it was like, what if it sucks? What if it's so bad? What if the things I think I have to say or share are just useless, and I'm just doing this for no good reason? Which is dumb, because, even the practice of learning how to do a new thing isn't wasted. But that was the worry. Wow, it's really raining now. And here, quick change. Have a look around. Just came from that way. You can barely see the mountain. I'm going this way in the pouring rain. I love it. My shoes are going to be so muddy. I need a selfie stick. So I was worried that it would be dumb, that it would suck, which is, a decent, legit thing to think about. It probably will suck. I'm learning how to do a new thing. And I tell people all the time, I used to be a music teacher, sometimes I still am. You have to make the ugly sounds, or you're never going to get to the beautiful ones. Your first try is never going to be perfect, or your second, or your third, or your 10th. There's always going to be something you can improve and get better at. And that's true, and I know that. I also know that feeling of not wanting to suck and not wanting to look dumb. And then the other thing that I was kind of afraid of was just is the feeling of I know what the reason I decided to do this was kind of as a gift to younger me. If there's anyone out there struggling in the ways I used to struggle before I learned some things, trying to give what I wish I had 20 years ago, 10 years ago, give what I wish I had known and learned, and not just knowledge. I mean, anyone can say stuff and it's true, but the process I went through to make it part of my life, to integrate it with who I am, to get stronger, to actually have the mind shift I needed to believe it, to believe those true things and apply them to every day. And I'm gonna pause again because now it's gorgeous. I love this time of year. It's so green, beautiful, and I might... Are we still here? At the same time, well, here's a good visual metaphor. Here's where I am on the road. I used to be way back there, and I've got all that way to go, but I'm further now. I've come this far, so I'm further now than I was at the beginning, way back there. And so for someone who's way ahead of me, I don't know much. I have so much to learn. For someone who's way back at the beginning, where I started, maybe I can help them. Maybe I can help make that journey a little smoother, a little simpler. Maybe I can be the guide I needed when I was starting down the road that I'm on. And so yeah, it's entirely possible that there will be people who just say, who is she to think she has anything to share or teach? And they could be right. And then, but here's the thing, there might be people that if I don't share where I've gotten to, who, if I don't take a brave step and risk looking dumb, who could have really used what I've learned to guide their own journey, and they won't get it because I was too afraid. So when I was a music major, university, years and years ago, they did this thing where it was called master class, and they made us perform on the stage in the recital hall in front of the entire faculty. So if I was a voice major, I'd be performing in front of all the other voice majors and the professors who were voice teachers that taught that particular instrument. And then I did piano too. And after you performed your song, which was nerve-wracking enough, right? Because you're performing in front of people who know how to do the thing you're learning how to do. After you performed your song, you didn't get to leave the stage. You didn't get to leave and collapse and let the nerves go. They made you stay. And you stood there on that stage, sweat pouring off of you, and you sat there and got feedback from the senior students and the faculty, and you stood there as they told you where you could make it better and told you where you have room for improvement. And then they, sorry, the view behind me is so distracting, look at it. And then they had you try it again. And they made you try new things and do warm-up things and try and hit the high note better. And it was like doing a private lesson with an audience of 30. And it was horrible. And it was so intimidating. And it sucked. But do you know what I noticed at the end of my first year? They had pounded the stage fright out of me. I mean, what's more scary, performing on stage or trying brand new things and looking foolish on stage, trying to do things that you haven't practiced and do things for the first time while people are watching? After that, performing on stage wasn't scary at all. Like the nerves were gone. What they did was they made us practice being on stage so much until we got completely comfortable with it. And that was so valuable for me. I mean, public speaking doesn't scare me. Hi, I'm live here, but in front of a crowd of people, for years that has been a really, really valuable thing in and outside of music performance. And so I was all, well, how do I confront this fear? Because I'll tell you a secret. Courage isn't not being afraid. Courage is choosing to do the brave thing anyway. If you weren't afraid, you wouldn't need courage. And so I thought, well, what is the thing to do that would require the most courage of me right now? Here, have a look at this. Thailand is beautiful, you guys. It's just so lovely. I digress. So here I am, I'm a little further down the path. What's the most scary thing I can think of doing? The thing that will require the most courage in order to face fear and get past it? Well, I figured going live, totally unscripted, on Facebook might be the scariest thing to do when I'm afraid of looking stupid and afraid of not having anything worthwhile to say and afraid of sucking. So here I am, not unafraid, just doing it anyway because I don't want to stay afraid, you know? And in order to be brave, in order to get good at something, you need to practice. So here I am practicing. I hope this didn't break up too much because I'm kind of out in the middle of nowhere now and there's not much reception. And so this is clearing the pipes, and I have another episode or two that I've worked out, and I'll find a time to shoot, record soon. And you know, eventually, if I practice enough, hopefully they'll get better and they'll be worth the time that I put in, and they'll be worth the time that other people put in to watch them. And so that's all I wanted to say today, and I'll leave you with a really beautiful, I love it here. This is so gorgeous. I'll leave you with another look, because this is like such a nice deep breath for me. So I'll see you a little further down the path fairly soon.